Welcome to the Dare to Grow Show. I'm Sarah Morgan, and my mission is to help you take daily action in your business, show up consistently and confidently for your audience, and earn more with digital products and programs. I know you have a rad vision for your life and business, but do you dare to grow? Let's jump into this episode and talk about how to make it happen. All right, welcome to episode 105. Today we are talking about how to give up worrying about what other people think. What other people think about your business, what other people think about what you're posting on social media, on your website, how you're showing up, the way you look, what you're doing. We're going to talk about how to give no fucks. Also, this episode I think has a lot of swearing in it, like extra for me, so maybe grab some headphones if you don't want me to accidentally teach your kids the F word. All right, so here's a question. Whose opinion are you worried about when you overthink or avoid doing something? When you skip posting that video because of how you look, when you don't charge more even though you know you probably should, or when you hold back from launching that thing, whose opinions or comments or judgments are running through your head? Because what I've been hearing a lot lately is that you're worrying about other people's opinions and judgments and expectations instead of your own. So right now I'm reading Jamie Varon's new book. She just released it. It's called Radically Content, Being Satisfied in an Endlessly Dissatisfied World. So I'm going to share a little excerpt from this with you because this book is really focused on releasing expectations and judgments of others so that you can do the things that you want to do. So I'm going to read a little bit to you today. Okay, Jamie says, that's the genius of dissatisfaction. There's no real way to cultivate the opposite. We're not ever supposed to find our way out of the labyrinth. It's meant to keep us confused and searching, chasing and striving and hustling and proving. The dissatisfaction does not have a solution. It's an issue with many heads and tangents. It is meant to be unobtainable. It's a problem that is designed to stay a problem. It keeps us addicted to solutions that will never work, and it keeps us thinking that other people get to decide when we are enough. Fuck. That is the gist of the book. You get to decide. Your opinions are most important. So today, I wanted to talk through the 3 levels of people that we tend to worry about when showing up on the internet, showing up on social media for our business. Number 1, it's the internet trolls. Total strangers that weirdly have a strong and generally not well-formed opinion on literally anything. Your content, your face, the lamp in the background, how you're doing things, how many times you said like or fuck. The second type is acquaintances, people you might know in real life, but they don't really know a lot about you besides maybe what you share on Facebook. This could be people at your day job, parents at your kid's school, that one person you met at that one thing who you're now friends with on Facebook. And then lastly, we're going to talk about being slowed down by opinions from your friends and family, people who know you and they care about you, and not caring what they think or say can be really tough. So one more thing to kind of consider as we're talking through all of this, are you generally worried about things these people have actually said? Or are you holding back because of the idea of what they might say or what they might think about what you're doing? So our lizard brain is always trying to keep us safe since the dawn of time, and so it continuously scans your world for potential threats. And now that society is advanced enough that you're not going to get eaten by a bear, that threat might turn into your Aunt Deb who has a big mouth and doesn't know how to keep her opinions to herself. Without bears, that now feels like the big threat. And if you have anxiety like me, your brain is thinking about / making up scenarios often and enthusiastically. I don't even think it would be possible to calculate the number of made-up scenarios that I got all worked up over that never came even close to happening. So let's dive into the types of people and how to get over worrying about what each of them might think. Number 1, random people on the internet, aka the trolls. I hear this come up mostly related to social media, especially like YouTube. I feel like their comment section gets a little bit wild sometimes. Instagram, maybe it's TikTok. What will strangers on the internet think when I share this thing or show up looking this way or position myself as an authority? Will the trolls, quote unquote, show up and tear me down? And I have to mention this part because it is a little bit funny. No judgment though. But often that worry about the trolls comes from people who don't have an audience yet, or they haven't really done Instagram, or they haven't really posted to YouTube. So they are stuck at the starting line because of imagining what people on the internet may or may not say. But the good news about that is that you do generally need to grow an audience first before the trolls will even find you. So here's my reminder when I worry about what strangers on the internet might think about me or what I'm saying or what I'm sharing. Number one, if somebody doesn't like me or what I'm doing, then my stuff is not for them. It's just not. And if my stuff isn't for them, then I don't need their opinion. And number two, if they don't like what I'm doing, it is not my problem. There are a million people on the internet to teach you marketing. They can go find someone else. So when people respond to my email saying like, you swear too much, and they have multiple times, I simply scroll to the bottom of that email and I hit unsubscribe for them. I just remove them from my list. I don't even respond. You're welcome. No more swearing showing up in your inbox. And I also had someone respond to an email saying that the lime green on my website was too bright and they didn't like it. And it was, of course, an older dude. To me, that's just weird and rude to think someone will change what they're doing just for you. But people still do it. They still send that stuff. So as I'm deleting their like snotty DM or unsubscribe them after a randomly demanding email, I just think my stuff is not for you. You're not my person. Keep moving. Because the people that my stuff is for also drop an F-bomb on occasion, and they wear enough leopard print to be in a Lisa Frank commercial. And some of those people would probably be turned off if my branding was all navy blue or neutral and I was all buttoned up and proper. Like, could you picture me showing up on a call wearing like a suit? That would be weird. So not only would it be super uncomfortable and ill-fitting, but it would also attract a totally different type of client or customer. I want customers who will start our coaching calls by introducing me to their dog. Yeah, I want to see your dog. Or members who send me photos of their leopard leggings when they join Dare to Grow. It's totally happened to me and I love it. Or responding to our member onboarding survey for Dare to Grow, saying part of the reason they joined was because I was wearing a Motorhead shirt. Y'all, that is when I know my people have arrived and why my coaching calls are fun and we have great discussions. Because all of the things that make me different from Amy Porterfield or Boss Babe attracts different people. It attracts the best people for me. And I can only attract them if I am showing up as myself, swears, lime green, leopard print, and all. And I'm not special. You can do it too. So the second group I want to talk about is people who you know in real life, but not really. So like it's the parents that you talk to at your kid's school, or the person at your day job who always has to share their opinion, or that Facebook friend that you met once at one event. When I started to get serious about my blog, I told no one. I had no problem sharing my life, personal stuff with strangers on the internet, but I was so nervous about what all of the like acquaintancy people would think, like people who knew me, but they didn't know me. And I started to feel like, who am I to show up and think I'm like so cute to be posting photos and writing about my life? And, you know, who am I to be an authority on anything? So the number one way I give no fucks about acquaintances is the fact that most people are so wrapped up in their own life. The second you're not in front of them, they forget you even exist. They forget about what you said or did, or even their own opinions of you. So here's a test. I want you to think about the last person you interacted with who's like kind of an acquaintance. Maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's your kid's teacher. There may be more than an acquaintance. I don't know. I don't have kids. Maybe it's the cashier at the grocery store, the person you talked to when you were walking your dog. What were they wearing? Do you know what they were wearing? Because I bet you can't remember. I can't even tell you what I'm wearing without looking down at my shirt. People will forget shit immediately. So it's been helpful for me to remember that even if I was personally impacted by that interaction, they said something or did something that rubbed me the wrong way, there's a good chance that that person walked away and completely forgot about it. And I might just think about it nonstop for the next week. Well, they've completely moved on. So, number one reminder, they are not paying that much attention to you, even if they do have ridiculous opinions and may or may not share them with you. So here's another thing. A shout out to the Dare to Grow member who shared this. You know who you are. We were on a coaching call a few weeks ago, and one of the members said that she had gone through her followers on Instagram, the people that follow her, and removed everyone she felt might have an unwanted opinion or that might judge what she was about to launch. She was holding back because of what that random handful of people might think about her product or her branding, and just removing them as followers eliminated that issue. You can and should remove people from your followers, your email list, your Facebook group if they are killing your vibe. If you're holding back, then that is a roadblock that needs to be removed, and there's a good chance they won't even notice, especially if you weren't really posting that much to begin with. Okay, next up, the tough one, friends and family. This is the worst because their opinions are so hard to shake off or ignore. And sometimes they go real deep. Sometimes it is generational issues. And those are the people that we're probably seeking approval or love from day one. Now, I got kind of lucky on this one because I started listening to punk music in high school, and that is all about rebelling. And so when I cut off my hair and dyed it blue, my parents were not entirely shocked. And when I quit my corporate job, again, not shocked. Ran away with the circus. Nope, not even a little shocked. But if you grew up following or expected to follow society's quote unquote rules, not rocking the boat, and now you want to do something totally different, yeah, your family might have some opinions. But often those opinions are based on how they feel about their ability to do that thing, or how scary or impossible it would be for them, not you. And so they start asking all sorts of questions that you've already figured out, you've already thought it through, because they're trying to process how this crazy thing might work. They might be worried about the internet trolls, which might make you worry about them when you weren't worried in the first place, or they might base your ability to do that thing on the one thing that you fucked up like 20 years ago. You know, you want to hike the PCH, and they're reminding you of the time when you went to camp at 12 and you cried, and your parents had to pick you up early. You know, they know all the secrets. They remember all of your shit. And, you know, they love you and want to protect you and care for you most of the time. Or they grew up in a different way and they just can't imagine doing something else. For a lot of people, you go to college, get a job, married, start a family, and then you just live until you retire, I guess. You know, for a long time, that was it. That was what you did. And other options or lifestyles or choices were weird and crazy and sadly had consequences. And so with our friends and family, there is a level of understanding to see where those opinions and judgments and fears come from, and then deciding whether you need to apply that lesson to your current situation or not. Or maybe it's not even that complicated, and all you have to ask yourself is this person qualified to give me their opinion on this topic? You can use that for everybody. Or rather, for me to take their opinion. They can give it all they want, and I can totally nod and smile, and then I can ignore it. If it's business strategy, then you need to own your business or manage a business or teach a business for me to want your opinion. As Brené Brown said, they need to be quote unquote in the arena. If they are not doing the thing and doing it as well or better than me, then I don't need their advice. Period. Don't give me advice on something you haven't already done. So, whose opinions do matter? Yours, your opinion, that one matters the most. And then the people who are paying you to an extent, but in the end, you have to live with your decisions. So your voice has to be the loudest. And, you know, maybe you add in your spouse, partner, kids into that as well, or maybe not. I don't have kids, so you don't need my opinion on that. But if we're talking about business stuff, your day-to-day life and work, your opinion and the opinions of people who are paying you are what matter. Not people who might pay you, not people who follow you. You want to listen to people who have already given you their money, they've hired you, they've enrolled in your program. Listen to what they have to say because you probably want to attract more people just like them. I have about 5, maybe 10 people now who have been in my programs. They've gone through group coaching, they're in the membership, and I want to attract a million more people exactly like them. So anytime I'm going to create or post something, those are the opinions I'm thinking about. That's what I'm imagining, not all the random people who may or may not like the thing I'm going to post. I'm going to think about Heidi and Sarah and Rachel and Naomi and Melissa. So many more names. I know. If you're like, wait, me? Yeah, you too. Y'all know who you are. Before I launch the new website, I want to think about what would they say? How would they feel? And I'm going to send it to them because their feedback will tell me if I've gotten it right. Culturally, women have been groomed by society, capitalism, racism, patriarchy, to second guess ourselves, to not trust our gut, to look to others for permission, to worry about every single thing lest we inconvenience or offend someone. We are being told that there is something to fix or work on inside and out of us every single day in a million different ways. And that is fucking bullshit. So, what can you do today to start working on these worries and start giving less fucks? I told you, swearing. I get worked up and then they're swearing. So number 1, follow people and connect with people who do not let what other people think of them hold them back. Jamie Varon, she's got the book that you're going to read now. Gala Darling, Jam Gamble, Glennon Doyle, Vivian Kaye, Tori Dunlop, Lizzo. Her new show is so good. Jonathan Van Ness, so good. And let me be clear, because they all give a lot of fucks about the stuff that is important to them, but 0 fucks about random bullshit opinions. Or maybe, they do because they're human, but they're not going to let it stop them. That's the key here. Also, unfollow people that make you feel not good about anything. You don't need a fully formed thesis on why you're unfollowing someone. If you feel something negative, like, you're scrolling through Instagram mindlessly, just looking at stuff, suddenly you feel terrible. Scroll back, find that post, and unfollow that person. You don't need that in your life. And if it's someone you know who will notice, yeah, that happens, mute them. That's why I love Instagram. You can mute people. They can live in La La Land where, you're following each other and then you don't have to see all of the garbage they post. And then when you do have an experience of judgment, you're thinking about what you're going to create next month, or you're writing an email, or you're creating a video, and you suddenly feel like, oh, do I want to share this? Do I want to post this? What are people going to think? Stop and ask yourself, how valid is that person's opinion related to what you're trying to do? And maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's the internet trolls, the faceless, random people that are going to show up to yell at you. If they don't actually exist, then you can't worry about it. It's not going to help you out. Or if you are imagining the judgment that might come, those of us with anxiety love to think about all the scenarios so that we can protect ourselves. How realistic is it? Is that really going to happen? And if it does happen, does it matter? If somebody tells me that I look unprofessional because I wear band t-shirts, I don't care. So if you stop yourself, think through it, get some logic going, get out of your feelings, and really think about the validity of opinions, how realistic it is for that thing to happen, that is going to help you kind of break it up. And also, you're going to start noticing those little moments of worry and judgment, which will make it easier to catch them and change them. Now, I want to end this episode with 2 quotes because these always pop into my head when I am coming up against someone's judgment or an imagined opinion that some imaginary person might have. So the first one is a quote from Diana Vreeland, who was the editor-in-chief at Vogue for many years. And shout out to Gala Darling. She is the one who posted this many, many years ago, and it has really stuck with me. And the quote is, "People will stare, make it worth their while." People are going to look at you and have opinions no matter what. You cannot control that. So just be your cute self and do what you want. The other quote is, "Other people's opinions are none of your business." The internet says that is from Robin Sharma. Had to Google that one. But people can think whatever they want about what I'm doing, how I'm showing up, what I'm saying. And I don't really give a fuck because I am pretty happy over here. So if this episode is feeling like something you needed to hear, definitely pick up Jamie's book, Radically Content. Not like a promo or anything. I'm just really into it right now, and it's like the book I needed to read in this time in my life. So I'll drop the link for that in the show notes. I'm only halfway through, but it's been a really validating and relieving read. And then I would love to hear about how you deal with judgment or the worry about potential judgment around what you're doing online and with your business. So find me on Instagram at @exosarahmorgan and let's chat. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're feeling all of your fucks fade away. If you're really struggling, let me tell you, I'm 38 and I feel like the closer I get to 40, the less fucks I have to give. So maybe that's just part of it. You just got to wait until you're a little bit older. All right, that's it for this week, and I will talk to you again soon. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, or if you are looking for help to market and grow your business, head over to daretogrow.co. That's daretogrow.co and join us in Dare to Grow. It's my membership for solopreneurs looking to simplify their marketing, show up with confidence, and finally grow their online business. You will get instant access to all of the trainings, the twice monthly coaching calls, our monthly planning and goal setting call, and our super supportive Facebook community filled with solopreneurs just like you. Seriously, it's so good. If that sounds like something you need, link is in the show notes or visit daretogrow.co and I will see you inside.